Today we will share with you our knowledge of the two of our traditions, musical instrument tamburica and full costume of Posavina.
Play the tamburica. Samica, Dangubica, Razbibriga, Tikvara is predecessor of today's tamburica. Samica is diatonic instrument, which means it can play very limited amount of melodies, and you plays by strumming all the strings at once. The tone is produced by twitching the strings, which can be strung with picks made of wood, bird feathers, horns, or plastic, and the number of strings varies. As a folk instrument, it is used solo to accompany singing or dancing, to amuse society, or to break feelings of loneliness. They were played by shepherds who were trying to fill their solitude by playing an instrument while looking after the cattle. The tambura tradition is an important part of the Slavonian identity. It's played at every affair including festivals, weddings, and birthday parties. In town of Slavonski Brod, there is even a museum and a multimedia center called the House of Tambora. In Posavina, region where Sunja is settled, almost every village has its own small tambura orchestra and a folk ensemble of dancers where traditional songs and dances accompanied by tambura are learned.
Tambura developed from a string instrument already known in Mesopotamian culture. Preserved art monuments from Thebes in Egypt also speak of the forerunners of the tambura. There is little reliable data showing how the tambura entered Central Europe. Today we know that it was transferred from Bosnia to Croatia in the 18th and 19th century. Then later on it became the most distinctive folk instrument of Slavonia and Vojvodina. Tamburica music was very popular in Hungary in the 19th and 20th century, but was suppressed by the hardships that resulted in World War I. As the tamburica disappeared from fashion in Budapest, it appeared in Vojvodina and Slavonia. There are five kinds of tambura. Prim bisernica, bas prim brać, Bulgaria contra, bas berde begesh.
National Folk Ensemble Lado was established in 1949. Their main purpose was, and still is, researching, collecting, artistic processing, and presenting on stage the most beautiful examples of rich Croatian music and dance traditions. 15 musicians play around 50 traditional and classical instruments. In 2006, Shokadia Zagreb, the Society for the Promotion of Croatian Culture and Heritage, brought together the first orchestra of more than 100 tamburica players to play an all-night concert.
Tambura in Sunja. According to historical sources, to people living in Sunja and the surrounding villages, tambura was introduced in the 19th century. The leading part has a village called Greda Sunska, in which there has been at least one orchestra since then. It became part of an everyday life of the villagers, as it was played in the weddings and village parties. The biggest credit for the development of culture in Tambura in Sunja and Posavina nowadays has Professor Nikita Berlekovic. He started teaching new generations of tambura players in 1987. He never finished the music college himself, but has developed his own technique of teaching children. So far, he has taught more or less 100 children and 8 tambura bands and was the leader of the folk ensemble in the village Greda Sunska. Under his leadership, the ensemble won many state and international prizes. When Professor Nikola Berlekovic retired, the mission of preserving tambura in Sunja and Posavina was continued by his nephew Fran Berlekovic. Fran started playing with his uncle but later on continued his education in music school in Sisak and today is a student of Music Academy in Zagreb and a winner of many prestigious prizes. As a part of the tradition that this folk ensemble is preserving are songs and dances, but also traditional costumes worn by men and women in Sumska Posavina.
Fall costume of Posavina. Fall costume is usually the name of traditional and historical clothing. Costumes exist mainly within certain regions, states, or members of a group, such as ethnic groups or groups of a profession. The first peasant folk costumes appeared at the end of the 15th century.
The traditional Posavian folk costumes are dominated by red and white, and the original costumes are woven, made on a loom, and each of them, with the skills needed to make and rich decorations, is a small work of art.
Historians wrote that in Sunya's Posavina, after men died fighting against the Osmanian Empire, women tore colors from their costumes and stitched them in white was the color of mourning. This tradition, called velo pobelum, carried on and made this costume unique. Fall costume of Posavina. Croatian folk costumes represent a part of the cultural heritage of the Croatian people, with a wide variety of different costumes. For our region, Posavina folk costume is special. The main parts of the woman's costume is rubacha, the skirt, zaslen, the apron, and oplache, the shirt, with wide sleeves. In the newer age, shvabica, the shirt, with narrow sleeves. Under the skirt there goes podoblački, the underskirts. The aprons of the Posavina women are special. They are woven in 4 threads, diagonally with square patterns, tufted with long fringes of wool. The girls wore deeper red facege, decorated with flowers or thick tassels of black silk, which fell around the cap. Men's clothing consists of men's rubacha, shirts, and linen trousers with fringes or tights, as work clothes, and a red vest. In men's Posavina costumes, the most characteristic are the shirt and the trousers. The shirt is as wide as the woman's, pleated at the back and at the waist, cut at the back and richly pleated, and knee-length. It is decorated like a woman's, only on the sleeves to a lesser extent. The trousers are long-legged, have a small round, and are made of the same fabric as the shirt, and decorated with lace around the edge.